Welcome to the Super Facts Show on the Super Facts Network. Featuring St. Laz, who also hosts the popular web series Gem Pop and music journalist Mark Walter Ward. They have discussions about hip hop, culture, society, philosophy, and everything else. Now available on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter Ward, Super Facts Show, Super Facts Network. Today we got with us ShowOff Stoner. How you doing, brother?
Good. Happy 4th and all that. You know what I mean? Blessed to be here.
Oh yeah, it was 4th of July. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm down in Florida. They be going hard with the fireworks. I don't think I ever celebrated the 4th of July in my life, other than I'm from DC. I go down to the fireworks every now and then, but I was celebrating the fireworks, not the birth of the country. Not that shit have any significance, but like mad at them holidays. I don't give a fuck about none of them reasons for them shits. You know, I used to be happy to stay out of school though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a reason to have off or something like that for sure.
So like right now, I'll go.
Go ahead.
So
I
right,
got people in my family that's military, so we kind of like we celebrated for that side. You know what I mean? Fallen soldiers and all that.
Yeah, I ain't knocking it. Like if I had somebody who could make me, feel some sort of way, like I would respect that. Like I don't necessarily like maybe some of the decisions, I don't know, politicians or whatever make sending people to war, but I love our military.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how many people in that is just that they from poverty, and it's like shit, they don't even be having coal mines like they used to. But a lot of people went to the military because that was the best choice for them, and I can't knock anybody for that. I just don't like when people go to the military and they don't use it to the best of their advantage. Like I had a partner who went to I think went to the army. I mean, it's irrelevant, but he got a job like literally like fixing the gun on the tank that shot the missile. So like,
oh wow, yeah.
What the fuck he gonna do with that when he get out? You know?
Yeah, you really don't got to trade or anything like that.
There was literally nothing applicable because like all he learned was like maintenance and shit. So he ain't learned. I mean, I don't want to sound pretentious. I might be using the wrong terms, but like he ain't learned none. Well, I won't even try to use no fancy words. He ain't learned none of the engineering or nothing. It's not like he could go to Boeing and help design them bitches. You know what I mean?
But he could use the VA loan to go back to school to learn something though, or you know what I mean? There's a VA loan that you can get.
Man, that man went. He went to the shit because he didn't want to go to school. You feel me?
There's opportunities though. He could have took advantage of.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I like people like I had another partner who basically just used 10 years of that Air Force to become a pilot, not no fighter pilot or nothing. I don't think he was ever in like danger. And now the man will fly for like TWA or some shit.
Just like a commercial pilot,
making big money, and he basically got paid to train. You know what I mean? So I can dig that shit much more than like coming out that shit bitter.
Oh yeah, he definitely took advantage of it for sure.
But so right now, musically, ShowOff Gang's really coming together. I see all the socials, the hashtags, all that's going up. And I don't want to say y'all put out a project, but y'all put out a ShowOff Gang theme mixtape. It had people that weren't part of the movement. But I mean, if you just talk about everything that involves, you, Just Rich Gates, J-Haze, ShowOff Gang, Slime Set. I mean that project was ridiculous. I had one. I mean, I was there when y'all made it, but like I ain't paying lip service. I love King Kong versus Godzilla so fucking much. I swear to God, I just listened to that shit like three times in the shower before this jump. Put time on his head. That's a Breitling. Put time on his head. That's a Breitling. I got a thing for chicks with big. What was it? I got a thing for big chicks in tight jeans, and they got a thing for dudes with
ice over white tees. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Hey, I actually took that verse from an R&B song I wasn't using that I wrote like 3 years ago, and then I just changed some of the aspect of the verse part and just spit that on there. It was crazy. So.
And then you had your OnlyFans song, which is doing numbers. Make sure y'all check that out. J-Haze featuring ShowOff Stoner. Or sometimes it's listed as Stoner featuring J-Haze. Doing my history on you though. We'll get back to the ShowOff Gang in a minute. I sat and listened to Legalize and Legalize too. And
yeah, Hayes told me, yeah, appreciate it.
No doubt, but and please don't take this the wrong way, but you improved dramatically as a rapper from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to now you definitely improved. And I don't even know that you've improved, because like on 2 I was catching what you was doing, but you seem a lot more comfortable.
For sure. I got an EP I'm dropping soon, and I'm gonna do another project that's Legalized 3. I don't know if I'm gonna go to past Legalized 3. I might do other projects after that, because Legalized was kind of like my experimental project. The first Legalized, that was the first project I ever put out, for real. Like, so I could see where you're saying, like, you could hear the progress, because even on the third tape that you're gonna hear, I haven't recorded it yet, but just where I'm at, you're just gonna hear like the evolution from 1 to 3 pretty much. It's like,
I'm sure
you're gonna see it like growing in those 3 tapes. You're gonna hear the growth. It's crazy. So, but yeah, I've really just started rapping like, 2015 for real. So there was one other song I was on with Hayes. It's called No Fairy Tales. I think we dropped it 2013, 2012, something like that. But that's probably the only other song you'll hear me on, like, before that.
Were you writing? Like, was this like a kid? See, I only met you that once. I don't know you that good, but you don't strike me as the kind of guy that was like writing a bunch of shit in secret, like too shy to let anyone know.
I mean, not really too shy. It's just like I always like took the music shit for fun. Like, I never really took it that serious. You know what I mean? I'd run around with motherfuckers and get into shit, but that's because I knew everybody I knew that did music. I knew them from the streets, for
real. I usually don't try to get too much into this, so let's stay outside the statute of limitations. But when I was talking to Hayes earlier,
yeah,
he said ask you about shit you did in the streets. But before we get into that, I could tell just from being around you, I've been to the penitentiary, and I can tell like white dudes who get respect from black dudes and who don't, and all that type of shit. And I believe it was Chris Rock, but it might have been Dave Chappelle, but it was that stand-up shit. It was like, when you see a group of black dudes and you see one white dude, man, you better be scared of that motherfucker, because he done did some shit to earn them motherfuckers respect. And that was kind of the case with me. Like, I grew up in a mostly black neighborhood, but I ain't good front. I played more of a Meyer Lansky role. Like, I mean, that sounds pretentious as shit. I was good at getting the dough. So sometimes when I would have been challenged, somebody would have stepped up for me, because I was the golden goose. Not that I was like backing down or nothing, but I mean, I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. So I'm just curious, like, what kind of persona did you have?
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, someone's going to check you in the streets. It's just all about how you handle it. You know what I mean?
This ain't checking. It's like trying to rob you, which is, that's the ultimate check. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Nobody's ever, like, usually I don't move like that, really. If I go somewhere, there's someone with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Very rarely
you gotta know how to move right, for sure.
By myself. And if I'm by myself, I'm gonna take precautions to make sure I'm good. You know what I mean? But I usually when we move, we mobbing, so nobody ever really, really tries that, because, you know what I mean. I don't carry myself like that. You know what I mean?
I can dig it.
Yeah, you run up on us. We feel you're not gonna. It's not gonna. I don't know.
Nah, I feel you. Like, it'd be hard to phrase this shit. Like, it's more like you got to understand it. Like it's almost like going to Vietnam or something. I mean, not to minimize that, but like, if you ain't been through it, you can't really explain that shit. Because like you ain't no hype beast. You ain't just see like a fucking Dipset video and go buy a bunch of Supreme shit and come outside. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if you remember Married with Children. Like, you ain't do no Grandmaster B shit. Me neither. Like, I just like the shit that I like. Like, I remember and it didn't have to be popular. I know it's a lot of them quote unquote wannabes or whatever. People ain't product of their environments. They'll buy shit that they don't like just because it's cool. Like FUBU or some shit. It depends on where they live at. Some old country motherfuckers in the 90s. But like me, I remember I saw some Bart Simpson Iceberg shit, and I swear to God, I had never heard of it. I just thought that shit looked dope as shit. and I had enough money to buy a little $130 t-shirt. And I remember people around my neighborhood, this right outside of DC, was making fun of me, right? And then volume 2 of the Jay-Z junk came out, and he was like, "Iceberg sweats will I be on the elastics?" Man, I swear to God, within 48 hours, because I don't know if you remember back in the day when there was like a big deal rap junk, you just hear it coming from every car, right? And for the next 48 hours, at least 50 people asked me, "Hey, where you get Iceberg from?" You know what I mean? But they had just been making fun of me. So point being, I was just always authentically me. You know, if I'd grown up somewhere where they was all like frat boys and Abercrombie shit, I probably would have been the Bama making money, throwing the parties at the frat house or something, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like not that fake shit. But that being said, you know, you kind of ducked the question. Without getting too specific, and again, this is well limitations. Were you around these artists because you knew how to provide access to things that they might need to enhance their creativity?
Hell yeah. So gotcha. You know what I mean? Or I'd handle the in between.
Now, bro, when I first started blogging, you know, it's outside of statute of limitations with me. To be real with you, I got most of my interviews because I knew where cats could get the best weed when they came to DC. So that'd be like part of the trade-off. I'll take you to the weed spot. You give me the interview. Shit worked out lovely. And y'all can go look up Drake and Dank interviews and see who did that. Because some of them
I just handle it. You know what I mean? I'll meet you somewhere else later.
Yeah, but I mean, like some of them dudes would go into the most dangerous parts of DC to their credit, and other dude, like I'm sure like you and Hayes would, but then other dudes would be shook motherfucking daddy.
Hell yeah, I went to DC and got some treatment for it recently, actually.
I mean, I don't know how it is now with like the COVID and the gentrification, but you know, DC's love.
Yeah, you gotta. It's kind of legal out there. It's not legal to buy it, so you got to go around that aspect. But you do your research a little bit, you can find out where to get some weed at.
Hit me up next time you go there. I'll send you to the best place to get it, and they'll probably lay you out with some top flight street gear.
For sure. Yeah. It's not too far of a drive from the Pittsburgh area. So when I go there, and I'm like, man,
hey, that's a good market for y'all too. We've always liked Pennsylvania artists. I mean, I remember Major Figures used to get booked like for the little, like, let's say they had like a 3-year run, you know, and they must have got booked like at least 17 times in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I even saw a show that had Gilly the Kid, Dutch and Spade, and Miss Jade, and this in the DC area, and you know, they used to throw concerts in firehouses a lot for some reason, and that shit, I don't know how much it held, but that shit was jam packed.
I used to one of my boys that back home I knew, we used to do it at like the VFW. We'd throw like a little party, $10-20 for an entry. You collecting the entry, have motherfuckers perform at the VFW or something like that. It was a way, like, if you had an LLC, you could make money on doing shows and then write off like certain things when you do that. So
that's a hard game to play, though. You could, you know, one bad show can wipe out like 5 shows worth of profit.
Oh, for sure. One good show though, you could, you know what I mean? You could triple, quadruple your money. You know what I mean? It's just all on how you play it.
So again, like Hayes told me to ask you about the music coming up, and you said you got EP, but can you be a little more specific? Because I write real quick before we get into that. You know, checking you out, I didn't realize, and I think you might have mentioned it, but it was late in the night that day. But you got this song Sicario to go hard as fuck with Conway A-Mafia and I believe J-Haze, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Hayes kind of alluded to you might have a surprise like that in store for the next one.
Yeah. I mean, I got a few records for sure. You know, so this EP, it's only like 6-7 records, so it's really just me just getting content out there and doing like Legalize is more of like an all around. I kind of want to give you like an all around tape.
Right.
This one's mainly like older samples and more of like grungier, you know what I mean, boom bap feel.
So it's like a concept album, but sound wise, as opposed to like sticking to a certain subject matter.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a darker kind of.
So boom bap, bro. Is this you showing that you nice?
Oh man, I can show you guys that I'm nice for sure. You know what I mean? Like I got a couple records I gotta do, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna show you guys I'm nice for sure. I'm there. I think.
Oh, I believe it, brother. Hey, how'd you meet J-Haze?
For real. I was at the mall shopping for real. I was going to like some tech school at the time, and I was staying in Pittsburgh because I'm originally from like an hour and a half south of Pittsburgh, Fayette County, but I was living in Pittsburgh and I was chilling with one of my boys, and Hayes was actually selling his first mixtape at the mall.
Okay, the 2012 jump that just got added to Spotify again.
No, this one probably won't ever go on the streaming sites, but it's called Son of a Gun Volume 1. But that one was a mixtape. That was like his first mixtape that he did, and I was there when he was selling it. So I ended up buying its CD off of him because his one friend was pretty
insistent.
He was a good salesman. He was persistent. That's what I say.
Hey, let me ask you this: was there any good features?
I can't remember if there was any good features, but it was just like that. The sound, you know what I mean? The sound was crazy.
Oh, they did the whole. What did they have? Like the Discman, and they let you listen to a little bit of it. They had a boombox.
I think they might have. Yeah, I think they might have.
I mean, if you bought it off the sound, you must have heard some of it first.
It's sometimes it's just like I like to support people. So like, you know,
they
putting
themselves out there, bro. I admire that shit. Like I had
it's good.
Yeah. I had an NBA dude on that's like a trainer, right? And I was telling him I'm big into the gym and shit. And you know, a lot of people be intimidated about going to the gym, but I was saying like, man, you be 500 pounds and you go in there and you doing fucking bench presses with 5-pound plates on either side, and the majority of the people in there is impressed with you. Like that shit's impressive to me, you know, because like that's the whole man in the arena thing. You know, it's way easier to just stay on the couch and turn that 500 into 600.
For sure.
So yeah, I feel you though. Like anybody to put themselves out there, because I mean they getting rejected much more than people are buying their shit.
Yeah, it just takes initiative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I've always had respect for that. So like, how about like y'all have an outstanding merchandising game? How involved are you with that?
Pretty much every aspect as well. You know what I mean? Like, Hayes always kind of used me as like you know, he'd bounce ideas off me, and I'd bounce ideas off him. And like even when Hayes isn't sure about a certain beat and he has like a couple beats, he'll be like, "Hey, what do you think about this beat or that beat?" You know what I mean? So I've done a lot. It's kind of hard to say what I do, but
I can say it. You do what's needed.
yeah. So I just help out.
I see you that night, bro. Like I'm perceptive. Yeah, I saw you adjusted the level a little bit for your jump. You know, I don't know. I mean, without getting all into it, you was just everywhere and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I had to, I could record somebody on Pro Tools. Like I've done it before.
Oh, I can too. You just hit spacebar and then hit stop. I went to engineering school. That's about all I remember.
Make sure it's on record.
Yep. Yeah, load the set. I mean, I can load the sessions and all that shit. That's esoteric, boring ass shit though. So well, we're gonna get into one thing, but I'm just curious. You're pretty well spoken, and when I was talking to you that night, you know, you had I mean, I don't know if you had a little bit or a lot of knowledge of certain things, but you were certainly knowledgeable across different areas. I'm curious, are you a reader?
Not. I read. I'm not too much. I don't really like reading, but
So where you got this information from? Podcasts, documentaries?
Podcast, documentary. Like you talking about music wise?
Nah, bro, you knew a lot about a lot of things. I remember I was impressed.
Oh man, shit. I actually I got an associate's in mechanical engineering. Sheesh, I went to just being hands-on with stuff, you know what I mean? Working on machines, being a mechanic before, you know, working on my own cars. You just gain a lot of knowledge along the way, I guess.
You know, I'm sure. I
And
mean,
just
shit.
being in the music too over 10 plus years along the way, you just pick up your things here and there.
What do you do in your free time?
I like doing music. I'm trying to get back into the gym more. I used to be a gym rat, but I took some years off. And
like what, weightlifting, jujitsu?
I wrestled for like 8, 9 years. I used to play baseball. I was really big into football. I could have got a scholarship, but my knee started fucking with me in like ninth grade, and I was like, it's just never been the same since. Even now, if like I stand too long, my ankle swells up. My knee starts hurting, so I gotta stay moving. So if you see me pacing around or something like that, it's not. It's just because I don't want to be standing somewhere. Shit starts feeling weird.
I'm like that with back pain. Give me 1 second, bro.
For sure.
You know what creatine is?
Creatine, yeah, I know what creatine is.
Like, fuck that muscle growth shit. It's excellent for reducing inflammation, and science has proven it. This shit right here, turmeric, you can get it as a spice. That crucially reduces inflammation. And then this osteobioflex, this actually works. It makes your joints looser. Like I lift weights a lot, and then you know, I'm 43, so soreness can be a bitch. So I'm trying to do anything to reduce inflammation. And I've tried like 70 things, and then those 3 things actually work. Like most of that shit's some bullshit. Like, I mean, I wasn't even planning on getting on this, but here's some great information for anybody that hears this. You don't want to multi anything that combines more than one thing. Like if it's got one thing for your memory and one thing for your energy, you don't want that shit. Even multivitamins for the most part, because basically you're not going to get enough of any of the ingredients in there. So I mean, that's one thing. But if you got into that shit, just doing that might help you with the with the because a lot of that's just swelling, which is inflammation. You know, it's trying to you know, make your leg rigid so you don't move and your knee heals.
Yeah.
So shit like that, you know, band work, yada yada, all that type. But if you go to the gym, you know about shit like that. But I'm just telling you, those supplements actually work. Most of the supplements are some bullshit.
I'm gonna have to try it out though, yeah, especially for like but it's not really like when I go to the gym, it's just if I stand on my feet too long or
right. Those would reduce inflammation, you know what I mean?
I'll check them out for sure. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, shit, no doubt. Shit. If anybody got good information with me, you know, I'm always open ears. You know, I got little mental problems and you know, PTSD and shit. And I just started therapy, and this lady about to have me try the ketamine and the mushrooms. So
hell yeah, I mean
it's like a doctor setting and shit. You know, I ain't never really do no ketamine. That was never really in my circumference. But you know, I fuck with psychedelics. You fuck with psychedelics?
I've done mushrooms a couple times.
Did you ever have like I ain't never like that shit where they be talking about breakthroughs? Like I ain't never have like nobody telling me what I needed to do in my life, but I definitely saw like fractals and streamers and movies look cool and shit.
You watch Joe Rogan?
Yeah, all the time.
He said he always talks about these what is it, the LSD or something like that?
The DMT.
The DMT. I think that those are one of the breakthrough ones where you like
I got my hands on it. I fought it.
For real?
Yeah, and I forgot the name of that shit, but it got Shailene Woodley, and it's like a dystopian young adult movie series. And you know, you're supposed to hit 3 times. I only hit it once. I fought going under, but for like the next hour when I watched the movie, they all look like lizard people and shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I was scared to go under, but after that, I wasn't scared at all. So I guess I gotta try that shit and not fight that shit. But I don't know about you, bro. I'm a felon, and down Florida, I can't even get no fucking job because I grew up in a neighborhood where anytime there was a big crime, they just arrested everybody, thinking that even if you didn't do it, you would know something about it and break in the interrogation room. So my arrest record looks so fucking horrible. Like my felony's just some stupid weed shit. My arrest record got shit like attempted bank robbery, attempted murder of a police officer, for shit that I wasn't even nowhere near. Like they literally did this shit in Forest Heights, Maryland. They just charged everybody. So down Florida, every job you compete for, there's a motherfucker who don't got an attempted murder on a police officer on their shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sucks.
Yeah, so I can't get no job down here. So insurance and shit, you know, like I used to ball all the time, but now I'm afraid like if I turn my ankle too bad, I ain't trying to go to the emergency room and drop 7 stacks, which I don't have, owe that shit. And then when it's time to get a house instead of rent a house, now I'm all fucked. I mean, you know about it. They be trying to keep poor people poor.
That's why my ankle fucked up right now. I'll roll it and I'll be like, I'll be good in a couple days.
But like if you was Joe Rogan, you could just go get that stem cell shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, I be listening to some of that shit. Be like, man, I wish I had that rich people shit. I want some IPO, some TRT, all that shit. But you know that testosterone, the TRT, they say that like once you stop, you go back to what you would have been bad, like almost like a vampire and shit. You know, when the vampire hit the sun, all of a sudden it look old and shit. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah. You shrivel back up.
So I mean, I don't see what's so good about that. If I'm just gonna be feeling more fucked up when I'm 70.
Nah, you don't want that. I used to take this shit called Advocare. I really liked it. It was all natural. But I do it for the post workout mix. The post workout mix is crazy.
You know, I used to get an Arnold Schwarzenegger post workout mix, but that shit made you have weird dreams. Yeah, like you can look it up. It wasn't just me. There was like mad forums about that shit, like crazy ass dreams too, where you'd be like, I remember one John, you know what the never ending story is? A little boy, his grandfather reading him a story, and in the book, there's like a kid who flies on a big ass dog.
Okay, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah.
Oh, that's like some 1982 shit. But I mean, I had this realistic ass dream that I was flying the dog and I was controlling this motherfucker like Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I woke up and swore that I had a fucking dog I could fly.
Holding on his ears and shit. Like,
yeah. Hey, you ever fuck with that kratom shit?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, because that's just legal in Florida. There's different strains. Like there's one that's like a green man. All the green joints seem to like give you energy. And I went through Xanax withdrawal maybe like 3 weeks ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that, because I stopped liking how that shit made me feel. Like I said about well, I said it made me too gay, which you can't say now, but it makes me too friendly. You know what I mean? And you know, when you be too friendly around people, that shit can be dangerous. But some of them Jones work like shit. Like it definitely worked with the addiction and the withdrawals. Like the basic it was done. They say it works for the you know, people with opiate withdrawals. But one thing it definitely does, there's one called Yellow Hulu, and man, that should be like increasing your IQ by like 10 points. I'd be loquacious as shit on like some John F. Kennedy shit when I take that shit. But like I can never regulate it, so no matter what, whenever I because you buy little pills, they're like 6 for $1, and eventually I throw up no matter what.
Oh man, how about the ones Joe Rogan talks about? Which ones?
Kratom. But they're a little better brand. They be some shit that's like $80 a bottle that only got like 30 pills, and you really need like at least 6, but probably like 10 to fill it. But the Green Man Ja, if you get it just right balanced, man, you feel like this super universal sense of oneness.
Damn.
And I ain't gonna lie, that shit feel kind of good.
There's the kratom stuff.
Yeah.
And you smoke it or?
Nah, it's, well, I mean, you can make a tea, but it tastes terrible. It's like literally the worst tasting thing ever. It tastes worse than like chewing a Xanax. But
that's bad. That's bad.
That's bad. But it comes in little pills, and then you just swallow the pills. The thing is though, when they burp, I mean, when they bust, sometimes you like burp that shit out.
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna taste terrible.
But you know, it's definitely some, especially because it's like a legal high, at least in Florida. It's something worth trying. So how did that I know I'm jumping all over the map. How did that shit come together that you got Conway and A-Mafia on the song? And I don't know how politically correct you is, but who you think had a better verse? Not off everybody, between Conway and A-Mafia.
Between Conway and A-Mafia?
I would go A-Mafia, but that's
I would think A-Mafia definitely got a better verse because Conway pretty much was the first one on that song. You know what I mean?
So everybody
like everybody on that song was after Conway, so everybody got to hear what Conway spit. So,
got you. Hey, who you grew up listening to? I know that I usually don't ask no cliche like that, but with you, I bet you have some interesting answers.
Man, so I was born in '86, so I grew up listening to everybody pretty much. But the first rap record I remember hearing was "Baby Got Back" by Sir Mix-a-Lot, and then probably the next song after that was "Jump," I think, by Criss Cross. And then it's kind of a blur after that because I'm kind of like the white boy Eminem talks about, the kid brainwashed from rock and rap. You know what I mean? So I've always gone back and forth. So I've always listened to like everything now, like jazz, blues, Stevie Wonder. You know what I mean? Like I kind of try to. I listen to some punk too. Yeah,
like Joan, I ain't talking about like that screaming Motorhead shit. I'm talking about like Joan Jett and Violet Femmes and shit like that. Talking Heads, REM.
Maybe not.
Green Day.
REM, Green Day for sure. Green Day's definitely.
Oh, bro, you gotta get down on some Joan Jett and some Cherry Bomb. Like it ain't just I love rock and roll. Joan Jett is that deal.
I'm about to check it out.
Nah, hey, take my word for it. Trust me. And I since I'm giving recommendations, no disrespect to you, but I'm sure you're not hip to this chick Chica. Look up Chica, CHIKA Tiny Desk concert. I guarantee that shit will blow you away.
Oh, the Tiny. Okay, yeah. I'll check it out. I think Conway did a Tiny Desk concert recently too.
I'm sure, but like they're not as good as they were because they're not going to the NPR building. Like I used to do like office movies when I first got out the penitentiary for like to have the job on parole, and I've been in that building like mad times, and I can just assure you that the ambiance is always going to be better in there than if you're doing that shit on Zoom, even if you got like that Dua Lipa setup shit that she had. So like before we get out of here, we're gonna get to what's next in your socials. But you know, I figure it's not even no elephant in the room. I don't know about you, bro, but like anytime I have a show or something where someone interviews me, they always ask me this white people shit. Especially pertaining to music. So like now that I got a white hip hop fan that I feel is pretty similar to me, like, you know, actually grew up in the culture, didn't just, you know, buy a pair of Yeezys and shit and start going to Smokers Club tours and shit. My history of white hip hop, I'm not gonna lie, when I was little, Beastie Boys, obviously, but obviously, you know, that's the year you was born. So I had that License to Ill. Then I never even thought about it, and I got into like a heavy metal phase with like Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer.
For sure.
And I started coming back like right around the Young MC era, but not for none of that shit, because I actually went from this white area Bowie to this black area Forest Heights, and you know, they was listening to everything around there, so they was putting like Willie D solo tapes on me, and UGK and Ghetto Boys and Too Short, even like the Too Short that got sold out the trunk, even old Master P, or not even Master P, Cash Money, that group UNLV that got killed that made bounce music. So I ain't listened to another white artist till Third Base. You know, I mean, I guess obviously everybody heard Vanilla Ice, but you know, I wasn't like buying no Vanilla Ice posters or nothing. I did have a Beastie Boys poster. So and I kind of like Third Base. And then I don't know if you ever heard of him, but there was this cat Milkbone that had a song with Biggie. And oh yeah, look that up. It's pretty nice. On Biggie Duets, one of the best verses was actually his verse from the Milkbone. Since we on that, y'all should also look up Tracy Lee featuring Biggie. That classic line, the rings and things you sing about, bring them out. That's from a Tracy Lee song. Homeboy
I might even have heard it.
Oh, I'm sure it was a big hit. Homeboy used his rap money, went to Howard, and now he's a big time entertainment lawyer. Tracy Lee from Philly. Shout out to Tracy Lee, admirable character. But so back to the white shit. I mean, I guess I heard House of Pain. I definitely like that first Everlast solo album. That white, I don't know if it's the first one, but the Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. And then I started copping Eminem junk. I ain't never listened to Young Black Teenagers. That was like Public Enemy's white group. Yeah, I know that shit sound funny as shit. But like I always respected Eminem's skills, and I probably copped at least like the first 7. But like a lot of that shit, it just didn't appeal to me. Like I ain't give a fuck about if he had an issue with Fred Durst or Britney Spears, and I ain't really like all that shock shit. Yeah, I mean sometimes it'd be funny, I mean, you know, the first album, or at least the first one that came out with Dr. Dre on it and the pills on the cover. My two favorite songs was.
I ain't like the first two for real. It wasn't my. I mean, it was commercial. It was all right, but it was a lot of like when we used to rap about shit we did, and then now it's like you can't do that. So now it's like he was definitely rapping about shit he never did. It was just things that he was thinking of, and then there were some things that he went through that he rapped about on there, but it was a lot of it was like fantasy.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, bro. There was two songs on the first one where he was talking about like how hard it was to have a minimum wage job, and he was worried about his future. And I thought them shits was superlative. I love them motherfuckers.
For sure.
And then, you know, on that third album, he had that song that had like Sticky Fingers and RBX on it, so he got mad credit. But to be real with you, I don't go back and listen to no Eminem albums. And then I guess after that you started. And then to me, it was like for a while, Eminem was trying to like destroy every other white rapper. I was like, he want to be the only one. Like he going to Insane Clown Posse. Shit, I don't even remember some of these motherfuckers' names. Like, what was that big fat dude? Haystack. You know, I don't know. I know you remember Def Jam signed a white dude, Jojo Pellegrino, but you know, he was always shitting on him. So then, like the next white rapper I really remember listening to was I like Bubba Sparks, especially when he was with Purple Ribbon and Killer Mike and them. He had that song Claremont Lounge, is pretty dope.
He had a run for sure.
And then you start getting like all them like Mac Miller, Asher Roth kind of people. I definitely have respect for. I listened to that DJ Drama Asher Roth off some Novelty Factor shit, and it was impressive, but I didn't then proceed to cop Asher Roth albums. Say it again.
No, I never bought Asher Roth's albums either, but he could get down. I listened to a couple of the tracks for sure.
Yeah, I got respect for him. Mac Miller, you know, I judged him too harshly at first because, you know, I went back and revisited some of that music he released before his death, and that shit was fire. Same with Machine Gun Kelly. Like basically, I got this concept I call old brain, where you get locked in. You can be any age and get old brain, but you get locked into you made your decision about something, and then you won't evolve with it. And to my discredit, I decided who Mac Miller, French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly were in 2012, and didn't check in with them, and then I do, and all of a sudden I realized, like, damn, they got way better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like,
because Mac was young when he started releasing music, for sure.
Yeah,
he was super young.
But as of right now, off the top of my head, I can't think of any white rapper I listen to regularly, and it's not because I have anything against them, or it's just if there was one that I found appealing, you know, I found Stitches highly entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
He's entertaining. He's entertaining.
I didn't believe that shit. And like at the time I lived in Houston, right? Around a bunch of paranoid crack dealing, gang banging motherfuckers. and you should have seen like how offended they got when they saw that fucking video. That shit like offended everything they stood for, which I guess I shouldn't laugh for, but if you have been there, trust me, that shit was funny. Because they're like, man, he don't do that shit. Man, wasn't nobody throwing no cocaine on the wall like that. But yeah, so filling name blanks. I mean, I guess I listen to ShowOff Stoner.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. I'm dropping a lot more music. I think a lot more people are gonna like this EP I'm doing, because there's a lot of like 80s samples in there that are kind of like not really hip hop samples, but they're hip hop beats. It's gonna. I always kind of have that 70s, 80s kind of sample somewhere in the project for sure. But
like disco.
Just if the mood's right.
See, I think as far as sampling, I think there was so much good disco music that's underrated with the musicality, like not the stupid shit they're saying, but the actual, you know, the instrumental bed.
Yeah, if you slowed it down a little bit, added some, you know what I mean, kicks or something here and there, I think it could work.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if you did like I know it's how you put like an edge to things, like not like how Puffy did it, where it's just like, you know, redoing that shit for the 90s, but like that shit, a lot of that shit would be in, because like particularly Donna Summer, if you listen to what she's saying on a lot of those songs, like that's a lady with pain, and if you just slightly altered the tenor of the music, you could have something really interesting, especially like I'm sure that'd be an expensive ass sample to clear though.
Yeah. I want to sample some other songs, but I've heard it's like impossible to get those records clear. You know, Sade.
Yeah.
I would love to sample a couple of her records, but I heard like she not letting anybody clear anything like that.
Man, bro, Sade was undefeated in my college dorm room. Like if nothing else, if you watch Dirty, this probably don't work no more. But back in the day, if you either watched all of Dirty Dancing or you listened to Sade, you were gonna be successful in your intentions. Sade was undefeated, greatest hits.
Oh yeah, she got some good hits.
Oh hell yeah, shit. I mean, but you know, you could always just sample that shit, not really release it, and still get it on like mad sites and maybe even cut a vinyl.
Yeah, I mean, like SoundCloud, that's good for SoundCloud stuff. Like just release it on SoundCloud and not make nothing off of it. Just put it out there.
You can make something off it, bro. Press up a little. All right, without getting into it real quick, 1,000 records costs about 3,200 to 3,500, depending on what kind of deal you can get. And this is one record with a sleeve and art on the outside, no liner notes or anything, right? And
like vinyl.
Yeah, and each side fits about 5 songs. Each side fits about 18 to 20 minutes, depending on how much information is contained within the song. So you could do little 500 runs or 1,000 runs. You know, if you spend 3,200 and you sell them all for $10, you know, that's a $7,000 come up. So you could still find ways to monetize songs like that. Ask Danger Mouse.
Yeah. For sure, you could do that. I didn't think of it that way.
And people want to collect that shit, and then you, especially y'all with all that awesome ass merch, you can do like autograph bundles. Like get the T-shirt, get the autograph CD, the digital download, and I don't know, like a show off gang lighter.
Hell yeah. That's definitely we're definitely going to do bundles in the future. It's just like you're seeing it kind of grow in front of you right now.
Gotcha.
Like we're really just like putting our foot to the pavement right now, for real.
Well, now y'all killing it, bro, and I appreciate you taking the time to I definitely want to check in with you down the road. I enjoyed
for sure.
seeing you make music and all that good stuff. Before we get out of here, where can they find your music, your socials, yourself, all that good shit?
ShowOff Stoner, pretty much across the board. Everything usually is on the platforms when it drops, so you can really get it wherever your music liking is. So if you use Google Play or CD Baby or that's a distribution, but is it? Yeah. So yeah, wherever you get your music,
Spotify, Apple Music, all that good shit, Amazon.
ShowOff Stoner.
Yeah, make sure y'all go check out King Kong vs. Godzilla right now, and be on the lookout for the ShowOff Stoner EP coming soon.
Yeah, new merch on the way. ShowOffGang.com. You already know.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for your time, brother, and you take it light.
Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Peace.